Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Ananda Rose, and today I have with me the beautiful Claire Johnson. Hello, Claire.
Hello again.
How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How about you?
Great. I'm good, thank you. Really good. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching the previous light language transmission that Claire and I did. In that, we were bringing in a message. Claire had a theme. We were bringing in a message and a light language transmission. This is a continuation of the Egypt activation. We felt guided that that's what we were to do. And so we've just done the first one, and everybody has had access to it. And I hope you've taken the time to assimilate with that light language all the codes, all the downloads you've got. Okay. So for today, first, I'm going to start us off with doing a cleansing and clearing, and I'll do a light language. And then we're going to talk a little bit before Claire dives into whatever the theme is for today and what the light and what the message is, and bring in that light language transmission for us. Okay, so before we do that, anything else? Let's do some cleansing. Today, I've got my incense. Can you tell? I'm being I'm being the medicine woman I'm supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, I don't know to go. And of course, the feathers, these are seagull feathers from the beach here where I live locally. And the seagulls tend to just leave feathers so that we can be blessed with them and use them for our cleansing and clearing. So here we are, clearing. Ay, namate, anakufa, nate, warakuto, tutur, mahai. Skuruna tifana kaito, ay, nato, hanatu, rakate, tamaha. Welcome. Whoa. Yo, likti mahai, natu, natia, natia. Oh, rekarati kuru takhtamaha natiam. Ay natia to rotnafana teo. Harmakato natia to arena matio. Oh, hanatito ma katena makoto. Aha, etselete a ornata. Beloveds, welcome. Higher beings of high vibration, honorable ones, Emeketio Rutu Kainato Kaitafana Kuta Ekaretu Uguruchilede. Kenamato tufam. Hatso rukutu to faranahai to. And so we are here. We have been cleared, we have been cleansed, we have gone into a different vibrational space. Can you feel the dimensional shift? This was a clearing and a cleansing, and we've now gone onto an energetic vibrational space that is ready to receive, to absorb whatever it is that's coming through. In Claire's light language transmission. So breathing, feet firmly planted on the ground. And as we're coming back, oh, Hanatafa. Welcome, everyone. Come back from that, just quietly, gently flowing back. Yatsu, yatsu kurunatai, tu kurunatsu kurunatsu kurunatai. Oh, Claire, mochikarabai? Mochikarabai tutupa?
Skeramato krametisia.
Makutufarana. So, I'm feeling I need to ask you, Claire, if you're ready, and I feel like I need to offer this option to do the light language before to do the commentary. Karamakoto. Is that aligning? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason today it's ready. It's already ready. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay,
all right.
That's good.
Yep. Mata tikram matoka neki anakro mastia matia nakiata kumoa. Iha masto kiama ike toko stiama tokuma eama tastiama tiama. Eta masti gina dana kura matastia ma era nastia ma ea ma isti kita goma dia di kara matastia mata ora mata kiana amasti ti ma asti eto maka dia nastie ma e koroma sta ma sti e kromo sto krama sti krama e tomo stare tarama takie no korama iana stikie to koma astie ma e komoya e kramasti e tama. I to roto kramasti te na tasti nasti renta pasti reto masta mati hena hana krota sti tamani e no masti chiamati e koromoto kamati e no ko amanesti anaya ti amasti e da karamata. E tomo stia ti kramata stita ma ento kramati reno kromatista mati goma dansti mataki nastaki to kramasti momo stiama mastika mana stiema chiana etama sti rama. Okay, thank you.
A lot of sensation around the third eye, the head, the crown. Wow, that's yeah. And I felt some like sharp sensations, but then suddenly there was all this warmth on my head, so that's really good. And I could feel my lower lip moving. Usually that's
I was switching.
Oh, mine does. It does twitch the side of me, the right side, when I know that I'm having a like my people are here and it's a highly intuitive experience. That's not, it looks weird, but that's how I know that I'm moving out of that uh, space, and it's becoming more and more evident and easy.
Yeah.
It's great now because we don't really need to check that we got it right. We know these days it's just that downloads are such that you just know it's all in sync.
Yeah.
Wow, Claire, thank you for coming today and doing this again with me. And thank you for your commitment to the collective. And also to me, because I got the downloads, I share it with you, and you check in right away, and your people, your guides, your squad. We're gonna have to find a name for them. They're gonna have to tell us their name now, right? We're gonna have to.
No, I think that was in Mbuya Nehanda again.
Wow, my
That's the third
goodness.
time she's come through.
Wow, she's amazing, right? Just Mbuya Nehanda.
I was doing a little research on her recently. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
She came through during the Egypt activation
yeah,
and when I was in the Queen's Chamber too. So
yeah. Wow,
yeah.
perfect, perfect. So today, just coming back to honoring you and thanking you for your time and your receptivity. I need to say, Ananda Rose, the channel has changed now. And I didn't realize it so much until yesterday when I realized it's gone back to the source of what it was created for when it was the Great Awakening Generator. It was to support all energy healers, light workers, light beings, star seeds in the work that they were doing. But what it's evolved to is that it's actually helping others, all of those that have not awakened to or come to their realization of who they are. It's setting them off on the platform. And so, that is what we're doing here today in talking about in getting clear here. But this is all divinely orchestrated. I didn't do this because I just found Claire and thought I like her, and I'm just going to do that. The guides put us together. We just need to say that. So we're going to do today, and then we'll do one more of this episode, and then that will come out in a week's time after this one. And then I don't have any more downloads for what Claire's going to do. But let's talk about today. Claire, today, I noticed that the last light language message, you, without me even thinking about it, you already had a theme for it, which was great because obviously you tuned in and you figured out what it is that the message was for the collective, for everybody. What is it that is today's theme? Oh, you
I
have
was
one.
just realizing, yeah, I was just realizing that like how perfect it is that Mbuya Nahanda came through because the theme today is activating remembrance and seeing your soul's mission through. And and I asked my team if I was supposed to share my experience of channeling in the Queen's Chamber as like one of the stories, and they said no. And that's when she came through like hardcore. And how fitting that she came through in the light language transmission instead to kind of,
Yeah.
say her bit. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the message that I when I was channeling her with light language in the Queen's Chamber was very much like, yeah, y'all are doing it. This is awesome. Like she was just like, yeah, like it was cool. So it was perfect. That's perfect. So what a nice segue.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I adore her.
Mm,
She's just great.
she is. And I'm fascinated by your theme today. I'm fascinated by your theme today. And I just feel it just makes me realize how apt everything is when, when you come up with a theme like that. That is all, one of the major things we're doing in this time is empowering people, awakening them to their real, to their true authentic selves, because that's the platform we want to live from,
Got
and
chills.
so I'm so pleased that that's a theme. That is a theme. I mean, I don't know what the themes are until you tell me, obviously. So please
Yeah.
go ahead and tell us what it is that you were planning to tell us that they've given you to share with us.
The reason I got chills is because I was just thinking about what I'm sharing about today, and it's such a whoa. So we're going back to day one of the sacred sites, I'm going to expand more on my experience in the Osiris Shaft that we went to after the Sphinx. So, like I mentioned before, the Osiris Shaft is 80 meters underground, and you have to climb down a ladder into, well, you can't see the bottom. Let's just put it that way. And I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights, but I don't love them. And so I mentioned in one of the previous recordings that just going down that ladder was an initiation for me. I was mildly terrified. I was afraid that the person above me was going to step on my head because I could feel her, I could hear her getting closer, but I couldn't look up. And she stepped on my head with about 16 to 60 seconds later. She made a comment. She's like, wow, you're a fast manifester. And anyway, I get down to the very bottom. Well, I'd say the very bottom for me. There was another portion that I chose not to continue going down, which was perfectly fine because apparently I had work to do in the main area of the shaft. I got down to this main space where most of the people were standing. You can only send about 4 or 5 people down to the very bottom at a time. And so people were taking turns. Anyway, I was standing there looking around. I had no idea what to do with myself. Um, I was exhausted. My arms were exhausted from hugging onto that ladder for dear life. I really was just like, kind of like how I felt at the Sphinx at first. I'm like, what am I supposed to do in here? And then I felt that pull. There are all these in the shaft, there's all these, I don't know, rooms, I guess. I call them like little caves, but they're carved out rooms along this outside of the main floor in the shaft. And I was called over to one. And the way I would connect with the spaces, and I think many of us did, is we would put our hands on the wall and our forehead on the wall. And then I start hearing some people that are down in the very bottom, they start oming. And then light language starts coming out. Actually, I start singing first. And then other people start oming, and then the whole space it was just echoing ohms. And then I was singing light language, and I could feel the vibrations of the sound like circling around me. They were vibrating off the walls and just uh and we sounded like angels. I mean, the whole collective, it just was beautiful. And then the light language starts coming out. And first it's quiet, and then it's a little louder, and then I start speaking into the wall so that it echoes so more people can hear it. And I'm getting louder and a little more like, you know, mm, almost rage-ish. And I could hear as I would get louder that the people and the rest of the people like would get louder, or people would start gagging or
Oh, wow.
coughing, or like there was a lot going on in there. Crying, lots of sobbing. Pretty much everything that was going on was intensifying. And then I turn around and I face the group, whereas up until then I had been facing the wall. And then I just start, the light language I'm channeling is I'm yelling. I am yelling at everybody. Like
Wow.
I have something to say to everybody there. There's a message for the group. And I was standing, I mean, I felt like I had a staff or something in my hand, and I'm slamming it to the ground, and I'm stomping my foot, and I am just going off. And all the people there are just like, bawling or, you know, coughing or gagging or, you know, grounding or doing doing whatever they're doing. Everybody's doing something different, you know. Um, and it's so hot down there. We're all dripping wet. It's just, you know, it's not a comfortable space to be in. And I felt at one point that I thought I was gonna throw up. It felt like an energy vortex in my solar plexus, just spiraling.
Yeah. Wow.
And while I was transmitting this light language, I was getting a translation for the first time ever. I could have trans I could have spoken light language and then English and then light language and then English. But knowing the importance of just receiving the light language message, I didn't speak English at all. And but I did translate it later with my team. And at the end of that, you know, I put my left hand on the wall and my other hand on my stomach. And I thought I was going to throw up. And then I just shouted, "Holy sh!" and really loud. And I was just like, man, somebody came to me, gave me a hug, told me they loved me. I spoke some light language to them. And then I sat down and just went through these waves of crying and then just chilling out and grounding and then crying. And then it's just, and then, and then I moved not far, maybe like, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 10 feet away. And I sat down and, you know, people are kind of shifting around and then some people start oming again. And then I feel the light language coming out. This time, the previous energy was a masculine energy. This one was definitely a feminine energy. And I'm sitting there like quiet message. Maybe it was just for me. And then the message got a little bit louder, like maybe it was for some of the people around me. And she got louder, not as loud as the masculine energy, but she loud enough for everybody to hear. And again, I was getting a translation in English. And then after that transmission, and that whole time I was just sitting. Um, and then shortly after that is when I delivered that personal light language message to the third person that I mentioned in the last interview we did. And pretty not much longer we climbed our way out of there. I honestly, everybody there was in our group, was from our group except for one man, I guess the temple guardian or
Yes.
the site guardian. He was down there with us. I can't even imagine. I mean, I just saw him at one point and he just had a normal straight look on his face. I can't imagine what the experience was like for him.
Yeah, it's interesting that, right? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he got to see a lot.
Yeah, the Temple Guardian is not part of the tour group. It's not part of the
Right.
tour company. The Temple Guardian is just a Temple Guardian there that admits people in and helps them to leave or whatever, right? Because, well, just to show them
Yes.
around. Wow, wonder what he must have
And I
thought.
think technically there was another one up on the next level because there were two levels of ladders. So
Yeah,
maybe, you know, he probably didn't see us, the guy up top, but he could probably hear us. But still, I
yeah.
was, anyway, we kind of laughed about that. We're like,
Hmm. They're probably used to it, right? Because I'm sure there's lots of people doing
you
this
would
kind of thing,
think
right? You
it's
would think, right? But still,
right.
I agree with you. Wonder what he's thinking. Wonder what he thinks about this. And hearing that, what happens to his? Is he getting light codes? I imagine he would be.
He's definitely being affected by it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The speaker
Wow.
light keeps showing up on my lip.
I can't see it right now,
um,
so don't
or
worry about it.
microphone. Yeah, I keep moving around.
Okay,
I think it's
okay.
just glowing right now, right here. Now.
Yeah, now I see it
Um,
glowing. But it's like just think about violet flame, pink.
maybe if I just move it forward. There we go. Now that should be better. So after what's at the time I didn't know, and I actually for the remainder of the trip, I didn't know anything. So I want to share what those messages were.
Okay. Yes.
Um, and I later found out, and I thought this message was just for the group, but it's also, I found out later that it's not just for the group, it was for all of us, all the light workers, all of us. So it's okay that I share the message. And also, I learned since then that in previous lifetime, I was in Egypt, a grand high priestess, and I keep asking my team, is it grand high priestess or just high priestess?
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Exactly.
says grand high
Yeah.
priestess.
Yeah.
And the I think that's so funny. And our next interview, well, I'll explain why that's really funny.
Okay.
So anyway, there I was apparently being infused with the energies of, I know Osiris and Isis for sure. There were others, but not, I don't know which ones they were. Um, the rest of them at this time. But Osiris and Isis, I was taking in those energies for this to hold on to for this lifetime to be released at
So,
at this time
okay.
at those sites.
Okay. Can you hear the barking dog? Is that distracting you? Uh,
No, it's fine. It
okay.
might be. Do you need to?
I think someone's at the door. I'll just pause the
Okay.
video if that's okay.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, there you go. We always have to make concessions when you work from home. The dog might start barking, or someone might come to the door. Thank you. I'm sorry, Claire. We kind of I was distracted with the barking. You were saying, please say it.
Um, I think I had finished, but maybe the dog barking was interfering. But just that I've learned since then that in a previous lifetime in Egypt, when I was a grand high priestess, I was infused with energies of various beings, Osiris and Isis that I know of, but others that I haven't been able to confirm yet.
Okay.
And to hold on to those energies, I don't know exactly what, but things that I was supposed to be, those energies that I'm supposed to be releasing at these sites during these times. So that is what was happening in the Osiris Shaft.
Okay. Wow.
I know for sure that masculine energy was Osiris and the feminine energy was Isis. There were maybe others that I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to confirm yet. But um, so how fitting, Osiris Shaft and
And that was
Osiris.
the transmission. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this is the message that I was channeling in light language that came from Osiris. We are clearing. We are opening our hearts because our hearts are one unity consciousness. We are love. We are healing, healing ourselves, healing each other, healing the past, healing the future. We are here now. The time is now to heal old wounds, to heal the pain. Time to heal from our trauma. We will be slaves no more. We have risen from the ashes. We have been reborn. We have been reborn, and we will not allow this to ever happen again. The time to stand up is now. Now. We
Wow.
have been reborn, and the time is now. So that's why I was yelling at everybody.
But the time is now, and we will not do this again. You know?
And I heard it so much from, like, I was hearing people reciting certain parts of that transmission throughout the journey, even though they didn't get the translation from me.
Yeah.
And or people were getting the theme. And then the feminine Isis energy message was, we must continue our work and we must integrate, we must stay the course, and we must not allow ourselves to become distracted. We are beacons of light. We are light warriors, and warriors fight. We fight for the light. Every one of us is so much more powerful than we realize, and we must allow the light to shine through us as brightly and as powerful as we can. We're
Wow.
so supported by so many. If you can't see it yet, allow yourself to feel it. We are so loved and so held, so loved and so held.
Wow. That is incredible. And as you were saying that, I'm reminded, we used to have that saying, and I've said it a few times, but I think maybe long ago, and maybe I haven't said it recently. We used to have the saying, the saints are coming. Even I think there's a hymn that talks about the saints are coming. Well, no, they're not. We are here. And we have been here for a long time. And, this is the uncanny sense of humor that the universe has. For a long time, people thought we were going to be saved. We needed to look outward to be saved. We needed to look at, I don't know what, to be saved. Yet we are ourselves. Dare I say it? The ones who will save ourselves. And in the process, we will save each other. And we will also be transforming and saving our planet. We are the saints. We are the saints. So thank you for that message, because that is reaffirming that truth, that we are here and the time is now, and stop thinking that's up to somebody else or you can't do it, because it's done. And we just have to start coming into that realization and own it that we are here. And we're getting so much help. I mean, we're getting so much help from the light that is coming down, right? Firstly, we're getting that, but we're also getting so much help from each other. I don't recall much of my past lives on the planet, but I have to say, I have not felt. I have to say, I feel supported now. I'll say it this way: I feel supported now more than ever before. I mean, I work with so many divine feminine energies, so many women, and we are loving each other from the true divine feminineness of it. That in itself, because you know how the age-old thing is, women together are cattish, you'll always have problems. We, you know, we have surpassed all of that now. We have gone through that so many times that now we know we don't need that. We know what we need to move forward. So I really love that. Really beautiful divine feminine energy. Mm.
So yeah, that was a nice balance there in that one. Man, Osiris is really coming through hardcore. I mean, like I said, I was just yelling at everybody. At least Isis came through a little more calmly.
Hmm.
I don't know that I could have handled two transmissions like that, like
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
back.
But you see, there was a balancing factor then, right? Because he was yelling and she was calm, from what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. We complement each other. It's almost like, when, remember when we were children and we were in trouble with our parents, the one would be, you didn't get both parents harsh at the same time. Most of, my experiences. If the one was doing the telling off, the other one sort of pulled back and let that happen for balance, and intervened when
Sure.
it was necessary, that sort of thing. um, but was there together. They were telling you off, but one spoke and the other one was calm.
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
it was quite an experience. So, and that was the first day of the sacred sites. So that was a pretty interesting.
intense, eh?
Yeah. So
Mm.
that's it for today.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for your patience with interruption.
Hey, no
And
problem.
thank you, everybody, for your patience with interruptions. Claire, would you like to take us, do a light language to seal this, and then we will say goodbye to everybody?
Sure, we can do that. The okay. Kya ai Kurma tienes toro tama. Itamasti kitanamatasti etomototoso. Itamasti kiranatiritus toramatieta. Oh. Hiramati kita krautos damati krete mas di kre to kro. Irama tasti taramas dani tamas dani. Ramita nastrani toro kuto stiama tianta. Kromoto kramastia. Thank you.
Mm. Wow, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful lilt. Bit of a
I never know what's going to come through.
that's the beauty of light language, is that we never know what's going to come through, and when it does, it's there. You know, sometimes I worry, well, what if something doesn't come through? Well, it's probably not meant to. Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Claire, for your time. And we look forward to catching you next time here for our third light language transmission connected to Egypt with Claire Johnson. Hey, this is divinely orchestrated. And so, you know, I know that anybody who finds it is going to be the people that resonate with it, and the message is timeless. So whenever you find it, it's going to be applicable for that time, as long as your resonance is there, as long as you are tuned into it and you resonate with it. It is for that time, for whomever it is for you that comes to it. So thanks for watching, and thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Claire, and I'll catch you next time here on Ananda Rose. Namaste, everyone.